My name's Artemis, and last week I made a video about how to avoid people with social skills and how to actually fucking deal with them, and it seems like a couple of folks thought that the video was supposed to be about how you actually get social skills and that sort of thing, which is interesting, because that's sort of something that you gain through life experience, and I can't really teach you to get life experience, but it did make me think that there are a whole load of things that are holding people back from the social skills they claim to desire, and a whole load of things that they're doing, behavior patterns that they really should break, but that means saying some stuff that they don't really want to hear. And typically, if you don't want to hear it, it's often quite good for you, at least when it comes to advice, if it's the bitter pill to swallow. And I thought, yeah, fuck it. If you're going to throw down the gauntlet and be like, this isn't very helpful, I'll tell you a bunch of really helpful stuff that'll slap you in the fucking face, because that's what it did to me when I learned this shit, and everybody needs to fucking learn this shit. So come with me on this journey as I tell you all of the stupid fucking behavior patterns you need to fucking break if you actually want the sort of life you claim to want. Let's dig in. The first slap in the face would be, no one cares about your fucking issues, okay? Now, I'm sure friends and family, doctors, medical professionals all do, so don't take that as literally nobody cares, but in the grand scheme of things, when it comes to making friends and socializing, your issues, your traumas, your triggers, your conditions, whatever they may be, are yours alone to deal with, okay? The world itself is not going to change around you, it's on you to change around the world, to become flexible, to become pliable, to become adaptable to these situations. You cannot expect other people to constantly change themselves to fit your needs, because there will be some that do it, but they don't do it for long, and it does not stoke the fires of true connection because it's one-sided. Now, I understand that we all have triggers and things that piss us off, those buttons, and I understand that it's annoying when people push those buttons, but quite frankly, they would not be able to push those buttons if they were not there, and that's on you. Even beyond that, even if you can't get rid of those buttons, it's still your responsibility to control what happens when those buttons get pushed. I'm sorry if that's a shitty fucking reality, but it is the reality. And if you're the sort of person that consistently expects other people to coddle you and to work around these things, then that might exactly be why you're alone. That might be why you struggle to get these friends, because people will only be able to do that for so long until you eventually see them trip up and hold them to fucking kangaroo court. Here's an interesting idea for actually socializing and having people give a fuck about you. Have you tried shutting the fuck up for once? Now, that might sound counterproductive, but so many people out there don't actually know how to have a fucking conversation. Now, I get it. We all come from a place where we weren't usually able to really talk about the things we wanted to talk about. So when you get the chance to do so, you kind of go a bit overboard. But so many folks out there are not actually having a conversation. They're just waiting for their turn to speak. And all they really need is a brick wall to just shout at. We all like telling stories. We all like being the center of attention, but that doesn't create meaningful relationships. In fact, it pushes people away. You actually want to have those sorts of things, and you actually want people to give a fuck, listen to them. Don't listen to them because you want to talk next. Listen to them because you want to understand. Take the information on board. Retain it. Understand it. Bring it up when it is relevant. This is how you actually get people to give a fuck. I can't believe we're at a point where I have to teach people how to have a fucking conversation, but I guess here the fuck we are. Stop just wanting to just vomit words at people, okay? You have to actually have a back and forth. Otherwise, what fucking reason are you giving them to give a shit about what you're saying? Because you quite clearly don't give a shit about what they have to say. Have you maybe considered that sitting around in your echo chamber comfort zone is actually hurting you? I understand that the world is a scary, shitty place that we don't all want to be a part of for the most part because of how shitty it is, but if all you're doing is staying in the one place, the one social situation, then how do you expect it to change? And if all you're doing is sitting around a bunch of sycophants and people who agree with you and don't really challenge you to be better or do better and just coddle and enable you, then why would you ever expect anything to get better? It's nice that you have this support network, but that support very quickly becomes enabling, and suddenly the issues that you want to work on never get fucking worked on, and now here you are bitching about how nothing changes. If you don't change anything, then it won't fucking change. The absolute best case scenario is that you stay the same. The worst case is that you actually deteriorate. Get out of your fucking comfort zone, get out of your echo chamber, figure out new social situations, engage in them, okay? Get a fucking job in a tourist destination. That's what I did, that's how I got fucking social skills. Make being sociable your job. You'll pick it up real fucking fast. Now, first off, asking for advice and support is a good thing. We should all be doing that. But ultimately, you should also be doing the fucking work yourself. This is a point I'm going to hammer pretty hard in this video, probably a couple of times. We all expect other people to help us when we get to a certain level of relationship, and that's great, that's wonderful and lovely, but very quickly it becomes enabling because essentially you're asking someone else to do the work for you. Do the work your fucking self, okay? Stop asking them to do it for you. Stop asking them to change and to take care of you and to constantly be going to your needs, because it's pathetic, it's shitty, it's stupid, and it also doesn't work. It makes you worse. You need to do the work. You know that you need to do the work. Have you ever been able to fix anybody else? Have you ever been able to take the reins of someone else's problem and fix it for them? No, they fixed it themselves. You might have helped. I've fixed all of my own problems, but I've also had people help massively, but they never actually did it for me. That came from within, from counseling, from friends, from medication in some cases. You have to figure out what the fuck you need to do, and then you have to go and do it, okay? Stop relying on people to take on the emotional labor that you don't want to fucking do. Stop getting them to come up with fucking solutions when you need to be your own problem solver. You can ask for help and perspective, and that's great and that's lovely, but it needs to be to help you rather than to do it for you. And if you're scared about, oh, I don't know how to do that, then shut the fuck up and figure it out. That's what adults do. Now, I've made many videos on victimhood mentality, so we're going to touch on it just lightly here because you can go and check those out. But making yourself broken and making it your personality trait is showing people that not only are you not actually working to be a better version of yourself, but that being broken is actually the only way that you actually want to be. Now, I understand it. It comes from a place of not actually having your needs met during childhood, and that the only time your caregivers actually gave that care was when you were hurt, or you were sick, or you were ill. So you learnt that, well, if I need people to prove that they actually care about me, then I need to be broken. I need to give them a problem to solve. And so here you are, making problems that potentially are not there. Self-diagnosing in itself is a huge fucking problem, okay? No one's really going to give a shit if you have a condition because you saw a checklist for BPD on TikTok and decided, oh, I must have that. If you're talking to medical professionals and doctors to actually cope with this symptom, to cope with this condition and enrich your life and become powerful because you can overcome it, fucking wonderful, fucking amazing, really support you. But who's actually doing that? Who's instead just saying, I can't do that because of X. That hurts and offends me because of X. You shouldn't say that to me because of X. You really think that's going to bring people in? You really think that's a good marketing standpoint for you being a person in their life? No, we see these people and we push them the fuck away because they're nothing but fucking trouble. And if you don't want people to do that to you, don't be that sort of person. So I'm sure by this point in the video, there's a few of you sat there thinking, oh, well, all he's doing is pointing these problems out. He's not actually giving us any fucking solutions. First of all, not my fucking job to give you the solutions to your problems, as I think I've made clear. Second of all, fuck you and that excuse, okay? If that's your excuse as to why you're not going to do any shit, then no wonder shit isn't getting any fucking better, okay? You have to do the shit yourself, and that means shooting down all of your excuses, okay? I get it. It's scary to do change. Change is fucking terrifying, but you have to go through it, and you have to do it terrified. I wanted to move to the United States of America and marry my husband. And I was terrified to do that. I was anxious as fuck. It was a very stressful procedure to do all of those things. And a lot of the time, I didn't want to do it because of how scary and stressful it was. But if I'd used those excuses, I'd still be back in the United Kingdom and I would not be married. Okay? Do it stressed. Do it terrified. Or don't fucking do it at all and live with the reality you currently have. Okay? I won't accept any fucking excuse. If you want to do the work and be better, you have to do the work to be better. You don't get to just, oh, but it's hard. Yes, it's hard. That's why it's worth fucking doing. Okay? You want to bitch and moan like, oh, but healthcare isn't for everyone. We can't all just go to counseling. Cool. So that means that you've exhausted every possible route that you could get to actually find these things, right? You've gone through every single thing that's available to you and none of them work. Yeah? No? Well, then keep fucking going until you find something that works. Oh, but maybe I don't know how to do this thing. Cool. Wonderful. You don't know how to do it. So you've done the research, right? You've gone through Google. You've spoken to every professional that you can, right? You have a fucking supercomputer in your pocket at all times with access to the largest repository of information this species has ever fucking known. If all you're doing is using it to bitch and moan about your problems, that's why they're not fucking getting fixed. The final point I would like to rant about is to just show your work. Show that there was a point. Show that you are worthy. And that comes from a place of just doing. Now, we can all say things, we can all make plans, we can all tell people how we're going to change, we can intellectualize stuff to the point where it just becomes a deflection. But that doesn't mean anything. You need to show your work. You need to show that you're actually doing better, being better. Show that if people are here to help you, show that you are listening, understanding, taking that information on board, actioning it. And that action is seen in you changing. Okay? If you want to go to people for help and advice, you can't be pissed off if they stop giving it because you stop following it. If you actually want to change, you need to change. And explaining it to people is not enough. You have to show it. You have to show that you're a functioning fucking person. A person who sees a thing about themselves that they don't like and takes the necessary steps to change that thing for the better. You have to show them that you care enough about this relationship to be the best version of yourself. Not just for you, but for everybody else around you. I know that's hard and that's difficult. I know a lot of people will be sitting there like, well, how do I do that? You fucking do it, okay? You do it by doing it. It's as simple as that. Stop asking other people to do the fucking work for you because they can't anyway. Do the fucking work yourself and you will see it pay off. Now, obviously, I could keep talking about this for fucking ever because I am full of advice, because I am a people pleaser with a savior complex, but I've also been through all of this stuff. So when I tell you these things, it is because each one of these things is something that I myself personally learned, went through, and had to deal with the reality of. And when you come out the other side, you see it for the positive experience that it was. But as you're going through it, it fucking sucks. And I'm sorry about that. But the process is what gets you to learn the fucking lesson and not do this shit again. So it is important for you. I do genuinely hope it helped. I want to help people. I want them to see things in the right way. I want them to be better and to do better. But sometimes that means that you have to throw the whole idea of being nice about it out. Because we can all sit here and be, oh, it's okay, you can do this, we can support you. But too often people take that as enabling, and that's damaging as fuck. And sometimes you really do need to face the reality in the sharpest, most blunt and brutal way possible. And well, I guess I'm good at that. At least I hope I am. But thank you for watching. I hope you did enjoy this. If you did and you would like to help support us, there is a myriad of ways that you can do that by looking at the link tree. I have been much more subtle with my advertising of various things that I do for money. You're welcome. There is also, of course, the Patreon, which would be great for you to check out. Helps us pay our bills, helps us stay afloat, helps us stay alive, which is arguably a good thing. And there's a bunch of cool stuff on there. There's a Discord chat where we go in there and we have voice chat sessions and all of that stuff. You can chat to me and see what's going on. We've got exclusive videos, exclusive content. It's a generally really cool fucking place. But yeah, it'd be really good if you could check that out. But thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it does some sort of fucking good. And I guess you'll see me next time when there's not a heat advisory and we can film outside again. Bye!